The tragic death of Dr. Thomas Burchard, a highly respected child psychiatrist, sent shockwaves through the vibrant city of Las Vegas, unearthing a story that defies comprehension. Dr. Burchard was allegedly murdered by a woman he had connected with online, Instagram model Kelsey Turner and her boyfriend. The events that followed were truly horrifying, and the details that emerged would make headlines worldwide for all the wrong reasons. We would like to send our condolences to the family and loved ones of Dr. Thomas Burchard. Dr. Thomas Burchard was born on February 16, 1948, in Boston, Massachusetts, United States. He was the son of Charles Henry and Helen Burchard. Dr. Thomas Kirk Burchard grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. Later, he lived in Virginia. His dad was a professor of architecture, teaching at Harvard and Virginia Tech's College of Architecture. Growing up, Thomas had dreams of making a difference. He studied hard, earned his degrees, and became a trusted professional in the field of psychiatry. His dedication and compassion made him a go-to figure for those seeking guidance. After he finished medical school, he chose to focus on child psychology. He worked as a resident child psychiatrist at many well-known hospitals and colleges across the country. He lived in Salinas with his longtime girlfriend Judy Earp. The couple met in the early 2000s during a trip to Las Vegas with mutual friends. Even though they didn't have children together, Burchard was part of the lives of Judy's 4 children. Dr. Thomas Burchard, a highly respected child psychiatrist, was a dedicated professional who had a profound impact on the lives of many. He worked at the community hospital of the Monterey Peninsula for 40 years, where he treated generations of families, even seeing the children of children he had once treated. Known for his love of children, Burchard's passion for his work extended beyond traditional psychiatry. He enjoyed performing magic tricks for his patients, a skill he honed as a member of the Los Angeles' Magic Castle, an exclusive club for professional illusionists. His commitment to his patients and his profession made him a beloved and respected figure in the community. However, it was at the community hospital of the Monterey Peninsula that the 71-year-old psychiatrist performed his most significant work. Among the individuals he served, the parents of his patients and his colleagues, Dr. Burchard was held in deep affection and esteem, and reciprocally, he harbored a deep affection for them, adamantly refusing retirement after 4 decades in practice simply because he couldn't bring himself to part with his profession. Kelsey Nicole Turner was born on May 5, 1993, in Norfolk, Virginia to Samantha Ingram and Christopher Ingram. She grew up in Jonesboro, Arkansas. She was known as Bad Barbie on her Instagram fan page. She enjoyed having that name. She believed the name suited her well. The blonde from Jonesboro had always desired to make headlines, and she was about to make headlines for all the wrong reasons. Models like her utilize social media to gain exposure, posting their photos online with the goal of attracting the largest possible audience. Kelsey demonstrated the potential to achieve financially rewarding levels on Instagram. When not creating content for posting, she engaged in lingerie and swimsuit modeling, and even took on a few acting gigs. After acquiring a set of enhancements, her modeling jobs became focused on a specific genre, men's magazines. In Italia Playboy, Maxim, and Dream Vixen, Kelsey revealed a side of herself that most of Jonesboro had never seen. On the internet, she meticulously portrayed herself as a highly successful and glamorous model. In reality, she was a 24-year-old double divorcee with 2 children who lacked stable income. Bad Barbie resided in a world filled with illusions and deception. Then along came a man who understood public perception and the art of illusion. Rarely did Burchard indulge in spending money on personal desires and luxuries. Always clad in khaki pants, a white button-down shirt, and a bow tie, he presented a recognizable figure at the large retail stores. His routine involved filling up his cart with essentials such as food, clothing, and other necessities, all destined for those in need. He exhibited a special empathy for single mothers facing challenges, to the extent that his friends affectionately teased him about having a damaged woman syndrome. Dr. Burchard, too, found himself perusing online platforms that would have undoubtedly surprised and dismayed his professional colleagues. Bad Barbie conveyed to him that she was a young mother navigating the challenges of life, striving to regain stability. However, as a law enforcement officer Riley observed later on, It became evident that the images Bouchard was receiving from her were not focused on her feet. Much like the classic trick of pulling a rabbit out of a hat, Bad Barbie skillfully worked her magic, and gradually, his money began to vanish. To his partner, Judy Earp, he explained that the pornography was nothing more than a harmless fantasy. Despite finding it offensive, she chose to accept his explanation as the truth. Having relocated to the Monterey area, the intelligent Judy seamlessly integrated into Bouchard's life, contributing to their shared journey for a remarkable 17 years. At this juncture, Bad Barbie was on the brink of making a similar relocation. Law enforcement records and text messages would later validate that the esteemed doctor and Bad Barbie eventually entered into what could be described as a transactional relationship. Both individuals seemed to harbor a clandestine existence, and even when measured against that standard, the circumstances surrounding their connection were peculiar, especially from Bad Barbie's perspective. Salinas, an agricultural community nestled within the Monterey Peninsula, lies hundreds of miles away from Los Angeles. For a girl accustomed to the presence of cameras, relocating to such a place would scarcely be considered a step forward in her career. The question arose, why choose Bouchard? If she sought financial support from a man, Los Angeles, being a hub of affluent individuals, offered a plethora of wealthy men to consider. Could it be that Bouchard, along with his prescription pad, provided something that others were unable to offer? Within the two individuals, there was at least one shared addiction. He confided in a friend that Kelsey was akin to heroin for him, empathetically expressing their intention to build a life together. In the interim, Judy stumbled upon a house lease belonging to Kelsey, one that bore the co-signature of Bouchard that he agreed to pay for. In their current situation, Kelsey, along with her mom and children, found himself in a rather pleasant neighborhood. However, it quickly became apparent to her that the neighbors were determined to maintain the quality of the area. Before long, the calls reporting disturbances at a residence transformed into a familiar address for law enforcement officers. Judy, in her exploration, unearthed the disconcerting revelation that substantial sums of money were vanishing from the joint account of the couple at an alarming pace. In the latter part of 2018, a social worker approached Judy. Concerns have been voiced, potentially from colleagues, that Bouchard might be in the initial phases of dementia. The visit served to affirm what Judy had already started to suspect. She presented a straightforward ultimatum: choose one woman or the other, and the decision would be permanent. Contemplating that Vegas might act as an enticing incentive for Kelsey, Judy proposed that Bouchard relocate her to the city. In response, Kelsey issued a threat, expressing her intent to harm Judy. Bad Barbie, who was averse to relinquishing control, found herself compelled to take action. On the 1st of March 2019, Bouchard orchestrated a vanishing act, informing Judy of his whereabouts only after he had already arrived in Vegas. Labeling Kelsey as an adept liar, he expressed a sentiment that he needed to witness her deceitfulness firsthand. Had he finally discovered that Kelsey had availed herself of a relocation package valued at $300,000 by exploiting his passwords and generating checks to his computer? Alternatively, was he a man seeking his own satisfaction, despite professing to Judy that he was solely delving into the depths of the situation? Unannounced, Bouchard appeared at Kelsey's residence located on Puritan Lane. Despite having covered the rent for the residence up until June, it appeared that he was unaware of the presence of two additional roommates, aside from Kelsey and her son. Unknown to him, Logan Kennison, a former gang member, was present on the premises, proudly displaying a new tattoo of Kelsey's name. In this moment, Bad Barbie found herself grappling with a distressing situation. Bouchard used Kelsey's Mercedes, which appeared to be the sole car available, to transport her roommate's attractive blonde girlfriend to the store, initiating a series of complications. Kelsey, feeling territorial, vented her frustrations through a rant until the girl, upon her return, promptly left via a taxi. The subsequent journey elicited further anger. Residing in the residence without paying rent, assuming the role of a nanny, was yet another roommate named Diana Pena. Bouchard and Kelsey, after she completed her bartending shift at the casino, proceeded to pick her up. On the way back, Kelsey took Bouchard's phone to utilize the GPS. Within the contents, she discovered more than just directions. specifically texts exchanged between Bouchard and Kelsey's mom concerning the well-being of Kelsey's son. Interpreting this as a potential threat to her custody, Kelsey perceived the need to defend her parental rights. Despite his attempts to pacify her, she responded with physical aggression. Upon returning to the residence, the atmosphere became increasingly charged with Kelsey's growing anger, prompting Diana to arrange for her friend to take care of the child for the night. Although he was aware that the allegation was inaccurate, any suggestion of such falsehood had the potential to devastate his life. Diana mentioned that he looked more puzzled than anything else. She tried without success to stress that he truly loved Kelsey. He expressed his confusion, stating that he didn't understand why she was doing this. However, Bad Barbie was refusing to let it go. Bouchard headed to an upstairs bedroom, slamming the door in frustration, with Kennison closely following behind him. This marked the commencement of Bouchard's ultimate disappearance. A detective in Vegas later remarked, "When you receive a call regarding the Lake Mead area, you already suspect it's not a natural death, it's likely a murder." Discovered in the initial week of March 2019, the abandoned Mercedes revealed information readily, providing crucial details. Upon inspection, the interior exposed evidence of blood splatter, along with indications of attempted fire to obliterate any potential evidence. The trunk contained all the items from the crime scene: latex gloves, blood-soaked towels, and a baseball bat.
There was rubber gloves in there was trash bags, there was clothes, there was bloody rag.
But under all those items lay the deceased doctor. The detective swiftly identified Kelsey as the owner of the car through the VIN number and license plate. Subsequently, they linked Kelsey's address to various welfare checks. A California woman had filed a missing persons report. They located Dr. Thomas Bouchard, and with each passing moment, Bad Barbie was gaining fame. Upon their arrival, the police discovered the house vacant, leading them to designate Kelsey, Diana, and Kennison as subjects of a nationwide manhunt. The search wasn't extensive. The FBI and Las Vegas Police Department tracked down Kelsey, still accompanied by her son, to Stockton, California. A frightened but alive witness to the crime, Diana Pena, surrendered to the Las Vegas police. The ex-gangster Kennison was located at his mom's house. Kelsey remained silent, and though Kennison accused Diana, her statements and the evidence contradicted his claims. Diana informed the police that Kelsey was the mastermind behind Kennison's assault on Bouchard with a baseball bat. In an attempt to survive, the bewildered but coherent Bouchard tried to negotiate for his life. He proposed going to the hospital, claiming that he had been mugged. Willingly getting into the backseat of the car, he was tragically beaten to death before leaving the garage, explaining the interior blood. The brutality was such that Judy couldn't even bear to view the body. Kennison is currently serving 18 to 45 years in prison. For Diana's cooperation and the lack of involvement in the assaults, she faced no time behind bars. Bad Barbie had one final surprise, however. She was pregnant. Defiantly refusing to disclose the father's identity, Kelsey attracted further attention by playing to the cameras whenever possible. After giving birth, she entered an Alford plea deal, a legal maneuver where the defendant doesn't admit guilt, but acknowledges that the evidence suggests an inevitable guilty verdict. If the case goes to trial, it will be years before she might be eligible for parole from a North Las Vegas jail. As for the others, Judy lost Bouchard and everything else. Having been deceived out of savings exceeding over $750,000, she wasn't even left with a car. Kelsey's dad had to establish a GoFundMe page to cover her legal fees. But since then, there's been silence from Jonesboro, including the local media. Locals explain that it's out of concern for Kelsey's two children, one in Arkansas and one in California, all believed to be with family. Kelsey admitted guilt to second-degree murder and received a sentence of 10 to 25 years in prison in January 2023. According to present records, Kelsey is serving her sentence at the Florence McClure's Women's Correctional Center in Las Vegas.